Tesla has just launched a brand new version of the Model Y in the United States. Sounds normal, right? Another trim, another price, another box you can tick on the configurator. But look closer, because this one is strange. It costs more than the cheapest Model Y. It goes less distance on a charge. And it sits awkwardly between trims that are objectively better deals. On paper, this car makes no sense. So if you're about to ask, is this Model Y worth buying? Stop. That's the wrong question. The real question is this: why would Tesla deliberately sell a worse car? And no, this isn't a mistake. It's not a pricing error. And it's definitely not Tesla being generous, because this car wasn't built for customers. It was built because Tesla is trying to protect something far more fragile than demand: its factories. Most videos will now throw a spec sheet at you. Rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive. Range numbers. 0 to 60 times. What speakers you lose. What seats you don't get. And if that's all you look at, you'll completely miss what's actually happening. Because this Model Y isn't a product decision. It's a production decision. And once you see why Tesla needs this version to exist, you'll never look at the Model Y, or the upcoming Model 2, the same way again. Why this Model Y shouldn't exist, and does anyway. Let's get specific. This new version is called the Model Y All-Wheel Drive, priced at $41,990. That's roughly $2,000 more than the base rear-wheel drive Model Y. Yet EPA-rated range drops from about 321 miles to roughly 294 miles. More money, less range. If this were Ford, Toyota, or Volkswagen, this trim probably wouldn't exist. For decades, the rule in the car industry has been simple: pay more, get more performance, more range, or more features. This version breaks that rule completely. And Tesla did it anyway. That's not an accident. The market's immediate reaction has been predictable. Tesla is expanding choice for buyers. That's the first misunderstanding. Because Tesla doesn't actually have a choice problem. It has a balance problem. And once you see what Tesla is trying to balance, you'll understand why this Model Y exists, and why Model 2 can't afford to be wrong. Tesla doesn't have a buyer problem. It has a factory problem. To understand this, you have to stop thinking like a car buyer and start thinking like a factory operator. Because on the buyer side, the Model Y is doing just fine. Even as the US EV market slowed through 2024 and into early 2025, the Model Y still moved roughly 350,000 units a year, by far the most dominant E5 in the country. To put that into perspective, most competing EVs are considered successful if they sell 30,000 to 50,000 units a year. The Model Y does that every single month. That's why industry estimates now show the Model Y alone accounting for close to 40% of all EV sales in the US. And when you add the Model 3, Tesla controls nearly 60% of the entire EV market. So no, this isn't about weak demand. And this is where most people get it wrong. Factories don't care about cooled seats, ambient lighting, or speaker counts. They don't care which trim YouTube reviewers recommend. Factories care about three things: parts availability, line flow, and utilization rate. Miss any one of those, and you don't just sell fewer cars, you break the system. Here's the part most people never think about. Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive aren't just different driving experiences. They're completely different production paths. All-wheel drive means an extra motor, different inverters, different wiring harnesses, different inventory pressure. That's not a small tweak. That's an entirely different parts balance problem. If Tesla misjudges the AWD to RWD mix by even a few percentage points, the consequence isn't a bad quarter. It's thousands of unfinished cars sitting inside factories, waiting for the wrong component, blocking space, breaking takt time. And in manufacturing, a factory running unevenly is worse than one running slowly. This is why Tesla doesn't just need demand. It needs predictable demand. It needs a way to gently push buyers in one direction without cutting prices and blowing up the entire lineup. And this new Model Y AWD is exactly that. Now notice something very telling. This version isn't optimized to be the best deal. It's optimized to be just acceptable. Acceptable to a very specific buyer. Someone who lives in a snowy or wet climate, wants AWD for traction and peace of mind, but still watches the price carefully. For that buyer, losing 25 or 30 miles of range isn't a deal breaker. For Tesla, every one of those buyers does something far more important. They help absorb surplus AWD components, smooth production scheduling, avoid cutting prices on premium trims. This isn't a great deal. It's a pressure relief valve for the factory. And here's where this should start to feel personal. If you already own a Model Y, this trim tells you Tesla is protecting factory stability, not resale value. If you're shopping for a Model Y right now, this trim exists to quietly steer your decision. And if you're waiting for Model 2, this is Tesla showing you just how unforgiving their production math has become. So ask yourself, are you buying the car that makes the most sense for you? Or are you helping Tesla solve a factory problem? Drop a comment below. Which one are you? Current owner, potential buyer, or waiting for Model 2? Model Y is being bent because Model 2 cannot be wrong. Now compare this approach to Tesla's competitors. Ford offers a clear contrast. Over the past several years, Ford has repeatedly reduced Mustang Mach-E pricing by thousands of dollars per vehicle, using direct discounts to correct inventory and demand imbalances. Volkswagen takes a different approach. When EV demand softens, VW has shown a willingness to pause or slow EV production at specific plants, rather than reshaping the product itself. Tesla doesn't like doing any of that. Tesla adjusts the product. That's a very Silicon Valley way of thinking. Change the interface, not the back end. And timing matters. The Model Y is no longer a halo product. By 2025, it has become a mature, high-volume platform. It's the workhorse keeping Tesla's factories running while the company prepares its next phase. And that next phase is Model 2, a vehicle widely expected to define Tesla's next growth cycle heading into 2026. A car that cannot afford to be wrong. If Model 2 slips, Model Y must carry volume. If Model 2 launches aggressively on price, Model Y must anchor the lineup. Which means Model Y isn't just a car anymore, it's a buffer. Tesla could have simply discounted the premium all-wheel drive Model Y. But Tesla already knows what aggressive pricing does. Over the past 2 years, Tesla has repeatedly adjusted prices across global markets, in some cases by double-digit percentages, resetting customer expectations almost overnight. Do that again, and existing owners feel burned. Brand trust takes a hit. Wall Street reads it as weak demand. Tesla wants none of that. So instead of lowering prices directly, they introduce a trim that looks slightly awkward. Good enough to sell, not good enough to cannibalize. This strategy isn't new. Henry Ford famously limited color choices because factories couldn't handle variation. Toyota spent decades restricting trim complexity to protect production flow. Even today, legacy automakers hide this logic behind dealer packages. Tesla just does it in public. And when a product starts gaining too many trims, something important happens. It stops being a product. It becomes infrastructure. The Model Y now behaves less like a car and more like a modular production tool. Tesla isn't asking, what does the customer want? It's asking, what keeps the line running cleanly? That's why asking whether this Model Y is worth it misses the point. The better question is this: what problem is Tesla trying to avoid? And the answer is volatility. Volatility in demand, volatility in pricing, volatility in production rhythm. This trim exists to keep everything else stable. Now here's the uncomfortable implication. And this is where you come into the picture. If you already own a Model Y, this should make you pause, because it tells you Tesla is protecting factory stability, not your resale value. If you're shopping for a Model Y right now, this trim exists to quietly steer your decision. And if you're waiting for Model 2, this is Tesla showing you just how unforgiving their production math has become. This isn't a story about a bad trim. It's a story about a company choosing factory stability over product purity. So this Model Y isn't really for you. It's for the factory. It doesn't tell a story about features or value. It tells a story about constraints. And if factories now matter more than the cars themselves, here's the real question I want you to answer in the comments. Is Tesla still primarily a car company? Or is it becoming a manufacturing systems company that just happens to sell cars? Because the answer to that question will define not just when Model 2 launches, but how Tesla behaves for the next decade. This is exactly the kind of thinking we break down on AutoGearshift. Not specs, not hype, but the system behind the machine. And in the next videos of this series, we're going deep into Model Y itself, the hidden trade-offs, the ownership mistakes people don't realize they're making, and the small decisions that actually change long-term cost and experience. If you own a Model Y, are thinking about buying one, or are waiting for Model 2, you don't want to miss that. Subscribe to AutoGearshift, and I'll see you in the next one.